Hello, pumpkins! I have been asked several times to do a tarot reading on the Duggars and the current scandal that is happening. Content warning, I am going to be discussing some very sensitive issues today, including CP and childhood SA. I am going to be discussing DV. I am going to be discussing CULTs, specifically fundamentalist Christian CULTs. If you are sensitive to any mention of negative things about any religion, that kind of stuff, please do not watch if you are going to be triggered by this, if this is going to be upsetting for you. And if you choose to ignore my warnings, please do not email or comment how triggered you were when I warned you ahead of time. That is on you if you ignore these warnings, not on me. So, I will not be discussing today whether or not Josh did anything to his own kids. Why? Because trauma is not tea. And I'm not even going to be discussing whether he did or did not do the crime. I'm going to be discussing, the first question will be whether he will be found guilty in court of that crime, and the sentence that he may get after that. So that is the first question. The second question will be on Anna Duggar and whether or not she will leave Josh. So, those are the questions. I am not going to be disparaging people for having large families. However, I am going to be discussing some difficulties in leaving DV and in leaving CULTs when one is the parent of a large family. Okay, let's get into it. The deck I'm using today is the Gilded Tarot by Ciro Marchetti. This is my favorite deck. This is the third or fourth one I've had of this. I wear them out. They're great decks. So if you're looking for a good beginner deck, definitely recommend the Gilded Tarot by Ciro Marchetti. Alright, I'm going to do a 4-card spread plus clarifiers for each one. Yes, I realize that there is a border across here. There's, I'm using the free version of the software. I wanted to learn how to use it before I pay for it, so I probably will be making the purchase like sometime next week. So, there we go. Okay. And I will show you the cards one at a time as they come up. Eventually I will have a great rig set up with a split screen and 2 cameras, and it'll be awesome, but this is what I have for now. Alright, so whether or not Josh is going to be found guilty is the first thing I'm asking. The cards I have are the 2 of Pentacles upright, the Page of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups reversed, and the Page of Wands reversed. Okay, looking at these cards here, we've got, because there are, Pentacles is the primary suit, which represents money and security. There is a financial aspect to this as well. So I think that definitely he will be needing to pay the money that is requested for these 2 charges. Now, personally, a bit of a side note here, I don't like calling it CP, because in my opinion, P is in PORN. That's something that Stormy Daniels does. That's something that Heather Graham used to do. That's something that a Playboy bunny does. It's a consenting adult who is having digital or photographic images of their naked body, suggestively, or adult acts, and I believe that adult workers are workers, and they deserve protections and rights and to be accepted as workers. However, when we're talking about minors, as in those under the age of 18, or in the case of what Josh Duggar is alleged to have done, these are children under 12, and a child cannot consent to this. This is an image of childhood SA. So if I call it CSA, well, that means a lot of different things have that acronym of CSA. I mean, Creepshow Art is an awesome creator who I enjoy watching. The Certified Standards Association, the Canadian Standard Association, the Canadian Safety Association. So CSA has a lot. So I am going to continue to use the acronym of CP just for simplicity's sake, but that is not how I view that act in my mind. I believe that it is images of childhood essay, not CP, because workers in the P industry are workers and consent to work for monetary exchange, and a child cannot do that. So that is my view on that. Like I said, we're discussing the sensitive things today. Okay, the penalty for the crimes that he is accused of do both carry a monetary fine of I believe it's $250,000 each, so he's looking at needing to pay $500,000. He didn't learn anything. With the Ace of Cups here, like, there was no spiritual awakening, there was no, and you know, because there's a history of him getting away with stuff, he's never admitted to anything other than being unfaithful. He didn't learn anything. He didn't grow from the past, and so I think that he believes that he can get away with it again, because there's never been any consequences for any of his actions, because he's always been the golden boy. And I think that this is a case where, of course, his family is going to love him, but I don't think they're going to stand by him as they did in the past two occasions. When I see the Page of Wands, this for me is often about like an ADHD card, so I think that he is going to try for a plea about untreated mental illness or untreated neurological illness or something like that. Now, there is a YouTuber who will not be named who also likes to blame behavior on ADHD, and I have spoken up that I have ADHD, and Emily D. Baker also has talked about her struggles with ADHD, and no, that is never an excuse for crappy behavior. It is a challenge that needs to be dealt with on an individual basis. It is never an excuse for behavior. So I think that, he's going to try to use that excuse, and he's going to try to come off as like boys will be boys type of thing. But no, he's not a boy. He's a grown man, and so I think there's a sense of gosh darn it, I didn't know what kind of a website I was on. I didn't know what kind of images they were. I'm just hopping along on the dark web. I do think that he is going to be found guilty for doing these actions. So we're going to look now at his sentence. So I already discussed that there is going to be a monetary amount to this. I think this trial is going to be expensive, like with legal fees, because I don't think a lot of people want to. I mean, he has a lawyer, but I think that his lawyer is going to become quite frustrated, and there's going to be a legal team involved in this, which his parents are going to need to pay. He doesn't have the money to his name. His parents have the money. And I think this is going to be quite frustrating. Jim Bob is known as being incredibly cheap, so the fact that he's needing to fork out all of this money because his oldest son, who has been his golden child, can't control his actions, or refuses to control his actions is more like. And I'm saying this, the Duggars better not be speaking out a single moment again about homosexuals being at risk of offending against children, ever. I never want to hear that out of another Duggar about how sinful the gays are and how gays are predators against children, because no, that's projection. I've mentioned on this channel before, I have a daughter who is a part of the LGBT community. I support her 100%, and for someone to say that, like Josh has said repeatedly when he was a part of the Family Research Council, that that gays were at risk of, were a danger to children, and now he is about to be sentenced for being a danger to children. Yeah. Not one word better come from the Duggars about that. Okay, so let's look at his sentence now that I've got a little angry. Okay. So we've got the world reversed, the Page of Cups, the Empress, and the Moon reversed. So looking at this, I don't think that he is going to get the full 20-year sentence. I think that he is probably going to get the minimum sentence of 5 years, and with that, going to get time off for good behavior out of that. So he's going to be released early. So he's not going to do even close to the sentence that is the maximum sentence of 20 years. The defense for mental illness is not going to fly. Part of the reason he's going to get a decreased sentence is going to be because of both Anna and his mother. So with the Empress card is the mother card. So I think this is not only going to be Michelle being an advocate for her son and talking about how she sees his character, but this is also going to be Anna standing up in court and or making statements to some regard about how he's a good dad, or how she feels he's a good dad, how she feels that his character is. And I think that with the Page of Cups here, I think that one of his sisters, perhaps even one of them who was who had inappropriate things done to them, is going to stand in his defense as well. So, because the Page of Cups, I'm seeing a younger woman, and it's not going to be the oldest of the M kids. She's 7. She needs to not be, and I'm sure that there's going to be questions and agencies involved. We're not going to go there, but I do think this is one of his younger sisters. Actually, could it be Jana? Because Jana wasn't one of the ones that he did inappropriate things to, or at least she's never said. Jana has been a staunch supporter of her brother, so yeah, I think Jana is going to be a character witness as well. Jenna may end up being his supporter. But actually, no. I think it's going to be one of the older boys. One of the older unmarried boys is going to have to be his chaperone. That kind of makes sense, and I think Jenna is going to end up being like the helpmeet to these two boys, because men aren't supposed to clean for themselves and cook for themselves in their little world. So yeah, I think that Jenna's going to come over and do the cooking and do the cleaning and all that stuff, and because she's not already busy raising the rest of the Duggar youngsters. But I think that one of the older unmarried boys is going to be assigned to be his chaperone. Jeremiah, I don't think Jeremiah is courting or is married to anyone. I don't keep up with their dating life. I know that, was it Justin got married recently? But yeah, I think one of the older boys is going to be like his accountability partner, they're going to call it, and is going to have to keep tabs on Josh. So yeah, I do think that eventually he's going to be able to get some sort of bail when that is when the next court date happens, and I think that his accountability partner is going to be one of his brothers. So I don't know if there are any who are over 18 and not married. It could even be one of his newlywed brothers. I guess Jed just got married, and yeah, Justin married Claire, I think. I'm not keeping up with this. But yeah, so I think that's where we're going to go with this. So I think that he is going to be able to get bail. He's probably going to be staying at that decrepit house that has frogs in the pool, because that's his property that he still owns, and it's not selling because it needs a heck of a lot of work. And so his kids and Anna are registered to live at the warehouse, and Josh's driver's license says that he lives at the house that's for sale, the fixer-upper. So yeah, I think that whoever is it wouldn't surprise me if it's one of the older boys as well, because a lot of them work in construction, so kind of like, it's a team effort that let's fix up this house while we're living here, and So I think there's going to be something, like, they're going to put a twist on that. Like, one of the older boys who's into construction is going to help build the house and fix the house up for sale. But by the time he's sentenced, then that boy will have to move back home. Which I think that kind of becomes unfortunate, because at that point, I know that these kids are expected to marry, like, as soon as they become adults, and so this boy's not going to be able to court while he is taking care of Josh, and so that's another burden that is placed on the family, that this kid, especially as things start to open up and he's young, now there's not a whole lot that they can do for fun socially, but I think he's going to want to go out and be a young adult man, and I don't know, go to a DC Talk concert. Are they still a thing? They were a thing when I was involved in fundamentalist Christianity back in the 90s. But yeah, they can go to a DC Talk concert. I guess the Newsboys are still around. Or, go ATV driving with buddies or whatever. So they're going to want to do, like, buddies, adult stuff. And he can't, because he has to take care of his brother. So there's a real kind of resentment of, I missed out on a year of my life, or I missed out on so many months of my life because Josh couldn't keep it together. I don't think that will ever become public, but I think that's going to be a sentiment that is very much felt. This is the third scandal that the Duggar family has had in the past 15 years because of Josh. So every 5 years he's going to not be able to keep his pants on? Is that what's going on? And become an embarrassment to the entire family. This family is one that is very concerned with image, and they're very concerned with curating an image. And I don't know if this has happened yet. I imagine that TLC is going to pull Counting On and want to dissociate themselves from the Duggars and distance themselves from the Duggars. I would imagine that's going to happen. So, next we're going to discuss Miss Anna. So I did a video about my thoughts on Anna. I do have compassion for her. I know I got a lot of comments saying that she's just as bad as he is because she enabled him. She knew about all this stuff, but I see her as being a victim in this as much as his sisters were at the time. Anna was born into this, so I do believe that the IBLP, the Institute for Basic Life Principles, the Gothard Ministries, is a CULT, and there is ample evidence that it is a CULT. This is my belief, and I apply this belief by the BITE model, the Behavior Control, Information Control, Thought Control, and Emotion Control model that was invented by Stephen Hassan, who is an expert on CULTs. So, she was born into this. This is all she knows. And I had comments that were like, well, her first duty is as a mother first and then as a wife. But the way she was raised is, in her mind, she's a Christian first and a mother second and a wife third. Or really, I mean, if you look at the umbrella thing, it's she's a Christian first and a daughter second and a wife third and a mother fourth. So she's feeling very trapped. There were comments about that, her purpose is only, to pop out kids and nothing else. And no, that's the purpose that they told her that she had. She has whatever purpose that she'd like. There are certainly many people who are raised in controlling toxic environments, such as many women who have left the FLDS, the Fundamentalist Latter-day Saints community, and run by Warren Jeffs and all the terrible things that Jeffs did, and there are women who leave that with even more than 7 children, so she can do just fine. She can leave. It's a matter of if she will. And so that's the tarot reading I'm going to do next, is whether Anna will leave Josh. And I really, really want to see the 8 of Cups reversed. Really, really bad. Really, really bad want to see the 8 of Cups reversed. Okay, so Justice reversed, the Death card, Emperor, King of Wands reversed. Though I do think, so we've got 3 majors here, and then a court card, which is a male card, an older male card. So when I see majors, this is massive stuff happening, and usually massive changes happening. So when I see the justice reversed, this is often justice not being served. So it is not fair. It is not fair that Anna was put in this position. It was not fair that she was born into this, and it is not fair. And I believe that that this is my belief. I have no evidence of this, that Josh doesn't treat her overly well. When a partner is denied any sort of financial resources to be able to leave, that becomes financial DV. So what it's really going to take, and I don't think this is going to happen right away. I think that she will leave. Looking at the death card, there is going to be a point where she's out. And I think what's stopping her from being out is her father. So she wants to make her dad happy, and Jim Bob as well. So there's these 2 men who she feels are controlling her. She doesn't realize that she does have the freedom to leave, even though her brother has offered her. I said that it was Daniel before, or David before, but apparently it was Daniel. I don't know how many kids are in the Keller family. And I guess there's an older sister, Rebecca, who is left. So I do think that there's going to be a time where she's had enough. I think, though, that this may coincide with either the death of Jim Bob, which I don't think is anytime soon, or the death of her own father. I don't know even if he's still alive, but that puts a lot of doubt in her mind. I should maybe do some research on the Kellers, but yeah, there's this idea of the head of the household, and that she is supposed to be submissive to the head of the household. And I am not at all harping on stay-at-home moms or women who prefer to be submissive. Totally their call. And I'm not, I have a few friends who are stay-at-home moms because the cost of childcare is so high that and men have more potential to earn more money than women do. So dad works outside the home full-time and mom stays at home with the kids full-time. And if that arrangement works for a family, fill your boots. So this isn't me at all trying to disparage that dynamic. And in my early childhood years, my mom stayed at home and my dad worked, and there were 4 kids and 3 of us were special needs, although I was undiagnosed. So yeah, it's very common. And then my mom went back to school, and then both parents worked, and yeah. Anyways, but I think what's going to happen is, especially with that Page of Cups coming up in the past, I think we're looking at as especially Mackenzie being the oldest. I shouldn't have said her name. Oh, she's on TV. As the oldest of the M kids, she's 7 now. As she grows older, Anna is going to think of her future and not want her daughter to have only the role of wife and mother to grow up to. So I think that thinking of her daughter, that is going to give her a push to leave, so that her children, especially her daughter, can have a better life. And so I do think that at some point that the kids are going to go to public school. I do think that eventually she's going to leave, and eventually she's going to stay with her brother, because a woman has to be under the protection of a man, and the whole umbrella thing. If you don't know what I'm talking about with the umbrella thing, I believe that Fundy Fridays did a great video on the Duggars and the Institute of Basic Life Principles. I will link that video below. Fundy Fridays is awesome. If you're not subscribed to it, please do, because Jen and James are fantastic. So once she leaves, she's going to be cut off from any Duggar support. So right now, that's one of the things that the Duggars are using, Jim Bob especially, is using to make her stay, is money. We'll take care of you, we'll pay for everything because, you can't do anything for yourself. You can't earn any money of your own. That is bull. And a lot of people are like, well, Anna can't earn a living. Anna can't, she has no work experience. She now has she has 6 kids. I keep saying 7 kids, but I know there's 6 kids and she's pregnant with her 7th. That, she has no work experience, she has no education, she was homeschooled, that she can't have any career. That is bull. And I mentioned in my last video that I did on my thoughts on Anna. Anna has D-list celebrity status. Anna is a beautiful young lady. Anna is, even though she is under the control of this CULT, I don't think she's an airhead. I don't think she's a bimbo. If she wanted to go back to school, she could do that. If she wanted to become a social media influencer, she could absolutely do that. She could have a family vlog channel. She could have a home decorating channel. She could have a homeschooling channel. Now, I'm not a fan of using kids like that, especially minor kids, for monetary value, like her mother-in-law did. But yeah, like that's how Jim Bob and Michelle got their money, was through exploiting their children. I am not saying that she shouldn't exploit her children for money, but she could have a channel on crafting or a channel on whatever. She could get sponsorships, and because a lot of people feel very badly for Anna, I think there's a lot of people who would subscribe to her. And I've said before, and now I know that Jana is a big supporter of Josh, but because Jana has this home decor skill, and she's actually quite talented at home decor, I would love to see a YouTube channel of Jana and Anna doing home decor stuff, and they could make a fortune. They could get sponsorships from different paint companies or whatever. So I think that there's a lot of potential with that. I think that when Anna leaves, that there is potential for her to write that tell-all book. Yes, I know that there are probably NDAs, but the NDAs are going to be related to the show, not to the family. She does have the right, I believe, to talk about her own experiences that are not related to the show. And probably if there is nefarious stuff happening behind the scenes, it's not making TLC. Yeah, and if Anna manages that money right, she can absolutely go back to school and get whatever career she wants. So life is not over for Anna just because she was homeschooled and then had an arranged marriage. There are lots of women who survive a lot of terrible things and become incredibly successful. So let's not count Anna out, as I said in my last video. So yes, I do think she will leave. I think she's going to be just fine, but I think that it's less about the religion and the church wanting her to stay and more about Jim Bob, because it's all about image. So I think that getting out of Jim Bob's control is going to be what's important. Apparently Jim Bob and Michelle are teaching in Texas right now, so this would be the perfect time for Anna to get away, to visit her siblings in Texas, and to have some breathing space. I really hope that she's not on the internet right now and seeing all this awful stuff about her husband. I'm hoping the weather where she is great and that she can get out in nature and have some fun with the kids. I don't know how far along she is in her pregnancy. I think that she's going to have, let me pull some cards on that. So I think we're looking at a difficult pregnancy. That's, now, I mean, the Duggars have, they have been blessed with having, I mean, the Duggars themselves had 19 kids, and although Josie was premature and had some health issues, they've been really lucky with having healthy kids, and even the grandkids, it seems like that everybody's healthy, and that there don't seem to be a whole lot of special needs, but I think that this number 7 we could be looking at difficult pregnancy, and I think some of that could be stress related, because obviously Anna is under huge stress. Okay, all right. I love seeing this. This is an awesome spread here, and just all what I was saying about Anna before. 4 of Wands reversed. This is the marriage card. This is the divorce card. So yes, she will eventually divorce Josh. Also, I don't think she's going to give this kid an M name. And I think that that's going to be part of her. She may. I mean, but yeah, I think that, and the reason why I say that is this. Queen of Wands. This is a strong, powerful, fiery woman, and I think that Anna does have that deep inside, but that has been crushed, and there's still this little Amber. So I want to see Anna be this strong, powerful, fiery woman. This is what this is. This is her reclaiming her life. And I mean, I know the Duggars have been doxxed like many, many times, and I would never want to dox anyone, but with her address out there, there is a big part of me that wants to mail her Janja Lalich's book, Take Back Your Life, which is about like how to recover after you've been in a CULT, and it also is very good for people who have left DV relationships, because the same tactics that CULTs use, DV aggressors, I guess is the word I can say, use to keep their victims. I don't even think I can say the V word. Oh well. We'll see if this gets monetized. Okay, 9 of Wands. This is kind of a retreat card in the way of like, let's take a step back and look at the battle plan. So I think that she right now is very much involved in like all of the hype, and all she needs is to take a step back from that and look at it from an outsider's view and be like, oh my gosh, what have I gotten myself into? What have I gotten my kids into? I need to get out of this. So I think that she doesn't see the big picture yet. Right now she sees, I married a man and I made a promise to God to be with him until the day I die, and that's what I'm going to do. And I think that she needs to get out of that environment and definitely away from Jim Bob, so that she can see things from an outside perspective. And Ace of Pence. So this is the tell-all book that's going to make her all the money. This is, yeah, she's going to do just fine financially. Is she ever going to marry again? Let's look at that. Is Anna going to get married again? I want her to have a happily ever after. No. I think that if she divorces, I don't think she'll get married again. I think that she will, number one, believe that she can't remarry because of the religion stuff. So even though I think that she'll leave the CULT, I think that she will still be a fundamentalist Christian and still frown very much on the idea of divorce, but so that she will stay single. At least that's how things are going now. I mean, I always say at the beginning of private readings that things are subject to change based on action plans, so Anna could choose to marry someone new. If she does, I really hope that it's someone she chooses and not someone that her father chooses. Okay, so that is my tarot reading on Anna and Josh Duggar. Please do subscribe to this channel. I do tarot readings on lots of different people. I've got one coming up on Dr. Phil. I want to do Rudy Giuliani. I want to do one on Jeffree Star. I want to do the Zodiac Killer. I want to do Jack the Ripper. So there's lots of good stuff coming on this channel. Please do subscribe. We have a lot of fun on here. And if you'd like to book a private reading, you can do so at the link below, www.carolyneironwill.com. And as well, you can donate to this channel by buying my dog Merlin a TREAT. I can't say that because he's right over there. The link for that is below. Okay, have a great day, pumpkins. Wash your hands, wear a mask, stay safe, stay 6 feet away from anyone you don't live with, and I will see you later. Bye, pumpkins.